now.
This is why it's important that we come on before the live stream starts so that we don't forget to turn on the sound.
Everyone's saying no audio. Are we on now? There we go. We got it.
Wait, let's just do this. Sorry about that, guys. So anyway, what I was saying, if you can't read lips, is that it's going to be a good episode. We're going to talk about San Juan today. We're going to tell you about what we did. We've got some fun pictures, not a lot, just a few to share, and give you some tips that we have learned from our experiences there. So if you are going to San Juan in the near future, you can take these tips to heart if it's something that you think would be beneficial to you. So,
all right, we gotta say hi to some people. I think.
Yes.
I just feel like because we can.
We got a lot of people in here right now.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
So we've got Sean and maybe Alana.
G'day. I don't know how long Sean was sitting in there, but I think he's been in there for like a few hours.
He's like just waiting. Adam's on here. Chris is on here. Ian is on here. Dave is on here. Stacy's on here.
Dan's on here.
Hello, all of you people. This is awesome.
Wow, this is really cool. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun episode. And also I noticed Chris is saying, watch the banter from Kimbra.
I have banter?
Well, so I don't know if you saw this on Facebook, but he made a comment about I love the banter. And then I responded and said, I tagged you in it. I literally set myself up for demise. Okay. And I was like, don't tell Kimbra that because then she'll banter me more. And then I was like, do I know what the definition of banter actually is?
You want me to look it up for you?
But yeah, he is actually not the first person to say banter in reference to us.
No, your mom has kind of talked about that before.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm looking up the definition of banter. A playful and friendly exchange of teasing remarks.
Oh, there you go. I think that
sounds like us.
Look at that. Not only are we improving your knowledge of San Juan, but also possibly your vocabulary. Everybody else probably knew what banter meant.
Well, I knew what banter meant. I just didn't know the definition, which I guess is the same thing. But
and Dan is responding to me with Bon Noche. Bon Beanie, everybody.
Oh.
I say Bon Beanie a lot. This is actually a time when it's actually relevant to what I'm meaning to say, because it means welcome, essentially. But I'll go onto like a live stream and be like, Bon Beanie, like I'm welcoming everybody to the live stream that I just joined. It doesn't always make sense. It's just become my tagline by force. So not other people, but me forcing it on the world because I just love the words Bon Beanie. But
Ian is in a COVID testing line waiting to get a test.
Oh no.
Is it for like good things or are you sick? I hope you're okay.
There's only like 6 people in Australia that are positive, so hopefully he's not one of them.
Dave and Brandy started packing tonight for their Mardi Gras cruise.
Oh! If you guys have any last minute questions, let us know.
I know somebody who's recently been on there.
We'll try and answer them for you, or we'll make something up.
We'll make something up.
No, we won't do that. I'm an educator. That's like the cardinal sin for educators. Like if you don't know the answer, that's okay.
Oh, when they stick me out on the floor, I make something up.
No. Do you really?
No.
Okay, you better not, because that's like a big training no-no.
No. You know how much training I got, Matt?
None. I know. No,
I mean it's fine. I make it work.
When you're in a position, like say you're in a position where you're educating people about, say, animals at a touch habitat, for example, and somebody asks you a question, sometimes you feel like you're the authority. You need to know all the answers, and you're just not always going to know all the answers. There's going to be something you forget. There's going to be something nobody's ever asked you, you've never thought about. It's going to happen, and that's okay. And it's okay to say, I don't know, but that's a great question, and I'm going to look that up. Or you should look that up or something like that. Please don't make up the answers. This is how It's how everything goes wrong in the world. So, yes. Adam's talking about the Alchemy Bar.
Yes, and the Nicholas.
The Nicholas. Yeah.
Yes.
Let us know if you have a favorite Nicola. You'll see Nicola in our. He's already made an appearance in at least one of our videos, I think.
Has he? No, you have a hair that doesn't belong right there.
Maybe it did belong.
It didn't. It was not connected.
I mean, that's subjective, I think.
Ian
Where a
is
hair.
not sick.
Oh, good. I am glad to hear that, Ian.
Yes, me too.
Yes, Anna at the Fortune Teller Bar, either Nicolas or Pedro. At the Alchemy Bar. And there were other people there too, but Nicolas really are the ones that are there most of the time.
Yes.
And they are a lot of fun. They are a lot of fun.
With the taller Nicola on Carnival Sunrise, David sailed with.
Okay. The shorter Nicola is the one that we were, I was going to say involved with. I mean, he's an attractive guy that we interacted with more, but they both were really pleasant and fun.
Yeah. The one like screams charisma. Like this guy has got it.
The other one, you just know he can make a competent drink and he's fun and he's funny.
But like there's
the shorter one's like, hi.
Yes. You have to walk past and go, Nicola.
Yeah. But you can't go wrong with any of those people. They are all wonderful.
All right, minutes.
Minutes. There is a single minutes left.
I was gonna say, Matt, we've got 3 minutes left. Instead, I said minutes. We've got Matt left. Anyways.
Sean's saying to Ian, I hope you don't pass your test. I mean that in a good way. Yeah, right? This is the time when you want to be negative.
Yeah.
And normally that's not the case.
So
having surgery on Tuesday.
So for anyone who has not joined us before and doesn't know what we're about to do, in just a few minutes, we're going to go live with the podcast itself. I mean, we're already live, but we're going to start the podcast itself, go about an hour-ish. We may or may not communicate a whole lot with the chat, but I promise we are reading what you're writing.
Trying to.
Well, yeah, I mean, I am. He talks too much.
Wow. There's a little banter.
Yeah, and then we'll roll the credits and then we'll hang out and talk with you guys some more.
If you are on Facebook, I see we got a Facebook user that says, hope you had fun on the Mardi Gras. Love the videos. Thank you very much. Because of the way we're using StreamYard, all we can see is Facebook user, but there is something you can click that will allow us to see your information. If you would like that to happen, you can also just type in who you are if you want, or you can just remain anonymous. It's really up to you. But
it's Nick.
Oh, hey, Nick.
Yes.
Yeah, that works. What? I missed something here. Sean says, I think she does love you, Matt.
The banter.
Oh, the banter. Oh, yes. It's banter out of love. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You were way too hesitant with that. Yeah.
It took me a minute.
She was like,
it took me a minute.
Oh, I'm live in front of people. I better say yes. Look how wispy I am here.
I know. It's like, what, you're back from vacation and you can just let it all grow out?
I don't know. I mean, I grow hair like a chia pet. So, yeah. But, yeah.
Dan says Sarah's sister is a figure skater. She's trying to get a contract on Royal.
Oh, cool. That would be cool.
I think Adam knows one of the skaters on Royal.
Yeah. That would be cool. Man, I mean, I always think working on a cruise ship is so challenging and difficult because there's like no days off and so long hours and stuff like that. But if you were in if you had that kind of a gig where you're doing something you already love and you're just doing practices in that, I'm sure they have other responsibilities to some degree, but that would be like different. I think I could get behind that.
All right, Matt. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
In the words of SpongeBob, I'm ready.
Did you have to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Come with me, we're going on a Fintastic cruise. Pick your destination with news, tips, and reviews. But here is an item you might not have thought of. All of the things under the water. Nature surrounds us with elegant features. You can't go on a cruise and not see the creatures. So let's make some magic, let's get ecstatic, instantly classic, maybe romantic. The wildlife around you, cinematic on your Fintastic cruise.
Bon Beanie, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Fintastic Cruising. I am Matt.
And I'm Kimbra.
And welcome to the Fintastic Cruising podcast. Hope everybody's doing good out there. We are still reeling with excitement from our Mardi Gras cruise. We're going to tell you all about our experiences in San Juan in this episode. Looking forward to it because we had a whole heck of a lot of fun in San Juan. And yeah. I should point out that the gentleman who wrote and performs our song is, I think, currently in St. Thomas.
He's in St. Based on
he's still in St. Thomas.
Yeah, I think he posted like a short video of today that he was still in St. Thomas.
So happy vacation to Tom.
Yeah.
And thank you for the music. We got a lot of people in the chat tonight, which is really cool. Of course, we don't interact a whole lot during the podcast, but I don't know. I feel like we should. I always say that, and then we do a little bit. But I feel like tonight, I just want to. I'm just feeling connected to the people out there.
I mean, I think we can talk to him tonight. There's probably going to be stuff that we can talk about.
Yeah.
Chat about.
Yeah. Well, speaking of stuff that we want to talk about, don't forget, if you are listening to this now or in the future, or watching it now or in the future, that we do have a Facebook group called the Fintastic Cruising Community that you can find over on Facebook and answer a couple of questions, and we'll probably let you in, and you'll be able to interact with all these wonderful people that are in the chat as well. Also, don't forget to go over to give us a thumbs up if you're on YouTube. Leave some comments if you're after the fact. If you're chatting now, obviously you're leaving comments. And if you do listen to us as an audio podcast,
I'm going to go back to YouTube. Subscribe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Subscribe to the channel. And and also go to iTunes. If you use Apple Podcasts, not iTunes, then leave us a rating there. You can leave it on other applications for podcasts, but I don't know that we will ever see them because it's hard to find any ratings. If anybody knows how I can see ratings on other podcast applications, or if you see one, please let us know, because we love the feedback. So yeah. And let's see, we've got a lot of videos coming out right now because we have actually been doing something that we have been really bad at with Fintastic Studios, and that is releasing vlogs. We've been releasing a mess of vlogs lately.
Yes, and we've got more to come.
We got more. Yeah, I mean, we released part 1 of our San Juan experience, which is the majority of San Juan, to be fair. We've got a little bit more from San Juan, then we'll be back on the ship. But then we've still have Dominican Republic. We've still got a little more on the ship. We've still got Nassau, and that one is going to be really fun. And then we've got more cruises coming up in 22 days from the night that we are recording this, which is Friday, August 27th, 2021, if you're way in the future. And if you are way in the future and you've forgotten what a crap show this last year and a half has been, then
you must have
good
just
for
been
you.
And then I'm gonna do my little ad here. So we do have our first official group cruise booked for February 19th of 2023 on the Carnival Pride. It goes to Grand Cayman, Roatan, Belize, and Cozumel. And if you are interested in joining us for that, you can send us an email at fintastictravel@gmail.com. And I would love to get you booked on that because we don't have enough people going yet, and we want you.
We are starting to get a lot of inquiries, though, and so it's looking like it's going to be a pretty cool adventure. And it's on the Pride, which I will say we've got Dave and Brandy from Dave and Brandy's Excursions here in the chat right now, and they are good friends of ours, and that is their favorite ship. They got married on the ship. They were in one of our early audio only episodes of the podcast. We're gonna have to get them back on once they get off the Mardi Gras, which they're getting ready to get on the Mardi Gras like soon, very, very, very soon. And also Pair DJ, D&J, who we also had on the podcast in the audio version. We need to get them back on. Also their favorite ship. So, I mean, that is high accolades from those creators that is their favorite ship. And that's the ship that we are going to sail on. out of Tampa, which means that you're on our home turf. So if you get here a little early, stay a little late, we're going to try and plan some activities for the pre-cruise or maybe the post-cruise and
do some of the things that we love to do around here.
Yeah, we got a lot. Food, adventure, creatures, we got it all. So definitely, if you are interested in that, let us know. Send us an email. And we have had the pleasure, the honor of guest appearing. There's a better word for that, a better term.
Guest starring.
Guest
Hosting.
Not hosting.
No, guest.
We've made a guest appearance.
But you're not seeing us.
That's true. Guest here, I don't know. We're basically we've been guests on 2 podcasts that will be coming out. I believe both of them should come out
one Sunday, one Monday.
Yes, that is the targeted date. The first one that we did was our very good friend Tony Dials, who has started the Common Room Talk.
Just Common Room Talk.
Just Common Room Talk.
Not just.
Common Room Talk. It is not a cruising podcast, although we do talk a little cruising when we're on there, of course, because we're us. But it is a Harry Potter podcast, and even if you don't like Harry Potter, I don't know why you don't like Harry Potter, but even if you don't like Harry Potter, you want to listen to Tony because he's just got that. He's got like a soothing voice.
Very easy to listen to.
My mom was like, I love listening to Tony talk. So, there's high accolades too. And then the other podcast that we will be on, which that's the one that's coming out on Monday. Mm-hmm. That one is called No Cruise Control. It is a fairly new cruising podcast, but it has an all-star hosting cast there. Our friend JT Milstead, who is pretty active in the Fintastic cruising community, and Brian Cause, better known as Mr. Traveler. So if you're familiar with Mr. and Mrs. Traveler, it's him and JT, and they started, I think, around June. They've got a few episodes out, maybe 5.
They've got 7 episodes.
So I think you're right. I've listened to most of them. It's good stuff. If you like this podcast, you will probably like theirs because it's very conversational, like we try and make ours, and they're very positive, very upbeat, and I've really enjoyed it. There's no cruise creature, but I have enjoyed it quite a bit. So that's coming up. We will have links in the Fintastic cruising community. We will be pushing those out there so that people have access to them. Tony's is on Apple Podcasts as well as most of the other ones. I don't think No Cruise Control is on Apple Podcasts. I only say that because
I couldn't find it on
that's
there.
It's not that, I mean, I am an Apple person, not somewhat, but when it comes to podcasts, Apple Podcasts is like the main thing, and then it feeds it out to everything else. But they're on Google for sure.
They post their link through iHeartRadio.
Yeah, but I know he put a link today for Stitcher.
Oh, did he?
If you search,
and I found it through Google.
Yeah, if you search No Cruise Control podcast, you will find it. And same with Common Room. And Tony actually has a Facebook group too. So if you're interested in Harry Potter, listen to the podcast, go join the group. He is such an awesome guy. Also, we were on Dan's podcast fairly recently.
Yeah, a few weeks ago.
And so look that one up as well. We do have links to that in Fintastic Cruising Community, another fun podcast. And
you gonna do the name of that one, or did you?
It's the real Uncti.
No, it's Uncti Fiasco.
This is why I didn't do it, Kimbra,
I know
because my brain freezes up.
That's why I called you out.
Because he calls himself the real Uncti, but it's the Uncti Fiasco.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like, okay, we're at the alchemy bar, right? And we're doing this alchemy test or alchemy class. Mixology class. And the guy's like, one of the Nicola bartenders, we were talking about them in the pre-show, was like, does anybody like whiskey? And I was like, I like whiskey. And he asked me questions about it. And even the small amount of knowledge I had about whiskey whisked out of my brain because I was like, gah. And so he gave me a lesson on whiskey. And then at the sort of the end of the mixology thing, he came up to give me my diploma. Yes, we got diplomas. And he asked me one of the questions that he had taught me, and it just went right out of my brain. And So that's what happens.
And he got his diploma anyway.
I did because I deserved it.
I mean, we were like 4.5 drinks in.
So all that and stuff is good news, good fun, and lots to look forward to.
Is that all the stuff that we needed to cover?
I think so. I think that was it.
Okay.
I think that's everything that we needed to cover.
I just want to point out that I've noticed, because of where we're sitting, we're both wearing Halloween Fintastic cruising shirts.
And I'll be completely honest and say that I'm wearing this because I still haven't caught up on my laundry yet.
Well, that's kind of why I'm wearing this, because my laundry is clean, but it is piled in a basket and I can't figure it out. So I opened my drawer and this is what was on top.
But if you are interested in that, we do have a Teespring link in the description. That wasn't part of our initial commercial, but why not? And we do have the new Halloween shirt with the Gillman, the creature from the Black Lagoon, crawling out of the there. Yep. So anyway, enough of that. Let's get on to our main topic, I guess.
You want to talk about Puerto Rico?
Let's talk about San Juan, Puerto Rico. If you've never been there, are you okay?
Yeah, I can't come close to you. Our wheels are touching.
I thought we had like some kind of magnet thing going on there, and I was repelling you.
No, the wheels were touching and I couldn't get closer.
Don't cross the wheels. Anyway, if you've never been to San Juan, Puerto Rico, the only place I know of that cruise ships ever dock, I think it's the only place, is right in Old San Juan, which is kind of a little island off of the big island that is San Juan, Puerto Rico. And it's a very old historical area, and you're right there. And it's a great place to walk around. So you can do excursions. I've done a trip to El Yunque, the rainforest, and there are some excursions you can do that will take you out and away from Old San Juan. But as far as ports go, where it's fun to just get off the ship and walk around, San Juan is got to be in the top 3 that I know of in the Caribbean. And it's probably the number 1. Honestly, for most people, I would suspect it's number 1. There are some other ones that are fun though as well. But yeah, so Old San Juan, it's got, like I said, lots of history. And when you walk through that area, it's apparent because the streets are very narrow. You can tell that this is a city that was built hundreds of years ago and has been expanded on since that's the name Old San Juan, and not like kind of Old San Juan, or not that new San Juan, or recent
modern San Juan.
Right.
Today, San Juan.
Today, yes. It is a very scenic area, and it has a lot to offer. So what did we do in Old San Juan?
Well, so it was my first time in San Juan. And of course, the one thing that I see every time I look up San Juan, Puerto Rico, is Umbrella Street.
Oh, yes.
So my goal was to go see Umbrella Street. So that is where we headed after we got Adam a belt.
Yes, Adam forgot his belt. So he managed to get through the first few days, but his pants kept falling down. It's very embarrassing. No, that's not true. That's not true at all. But he did need a belt because, he did have some pants he wanted to wear.
Which was fine because we were able to get a cola drink.
Cola champagne.
And it tasted like bubble gum mixed with Coke. It was really sweet, but it was really good.
It worked. It worked really well.
Not something I want to drink all the time, but good for
it was perfect for that area. Yeah. And I think I've seen that around here.
I feel like we got that in Grand Cayman.
I feel like I've seen it at Publix, maybe in like the Latin section or something.
Maybe.
But definitely in like Cuban restaurants or something. I've seen it somewhere, Latin market, something. So anyways.
Yeah. So we went to Umbrella Street because I'm like, I've got to see these umbrellas. And that was actually a little disappointing.
Yeah, I'm putting a picture up if you're watching.
So they didn't.
If you're watching, you knew that though. I don't know why I said that. If you're listening, I'm putting a picture up. Go to YouTube and check it out, and you'll see there is a street that normally has umbrellas. There's no actual umbrellas.
The Olympics has obviously just finished. So instead of umbrellas, they had this tribute or whatever to the Olympics, which I mean, okay, but I wanted the umbrellas.
There's a lot of streets. Couldn't they do that on another street?
Right.
You know, or couldn't they do
Yeah.
it with umbrellas? Why not get Olympic umbrellas? Like, it seems like you've already got the circle shape, you know, it just seems like it would just go right along there. But yeah, it was still pretty, but
I mean, it just means we have to go back.
yes, there you go. It was as if we needed more incentive.
Right.
That was it. It was like, well, now we have to come back.
I do have to say, after, like I said, this was my first time to...
Wait a minute. Did that rain on your parade? Sorry. It's the Buffalo Trace. I'm sorry.
This was my first time in San Juan, and this was the port that I was most excited for. And after visiting this port, which you'll hear all about it, I cannot wait to go back. I am like, and I want to do exactly what we did again.
Yes.
I want to do it again. It was wonderful. And it's probably like top on my list of, not top, but in the top few of my favorite ports.
Well, especially for terrestrial adventures.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So obviously, Kimbra and I are of the underwater nature, of the underwater ilk. And so, not to be confused with silkies, which is anyway. But yeah, so as far as like the land stuff, especially not purely nature driven land stuff, but there is a lot of nature there. Yeah, it's got everything you could want. Like, there's something for everybody. It's like cruising in a city because it's got something for everyone. So our goals when we got there, personally, hers was to see the Umbrella Street, which we failed at, but it wasn't our fault. And mine was to get a pina colada from a place called Barrachinas, which is a place that claims that they invented the pina colada, but there is a hotel that claims that they invented the pina colada. So there's a big, to do about that. I don't really care because Barrachinas has a really good pina colada. Someday I'll try it. The other one's like a Hilton. I'll try theirs if I get around, but it's not as easy to walk to, I don't think. So that was my goal. Right now, yeah. Adam
wanted to go see the fort.
Yeah. So now Adam used to be a cruise director. He's worked on cruise ships. He's been to San Juan a lot. So he's like, I know San Juan. You guys want to see this fort. Kimbro's like, history. Oh, joy. And I was like, oh, history. And he's like, no, it's history, but it's also very, very, very scenic. So Kimbro's like, okay, scenic. So we did that. So we were like, Adam, lead the way. And the cool thing is most cell phone providers, if you're in San Juan, you can use your cell service because it is part of the United States. That's not the case in like Dominican Republic, I don't think, but or I don't know if it is in St. Thomas, but it is in San Juan. But check with your individual provider and whatnot. But anyway, so he's going to lead us to the fort.
Yes. And so he puts it in his GPS and we start going. Now, we had already walked around. We got off the ship. We got into San Juan at 7:30. We got off the ship almost immediately. And of course, we started walking around and nothing was open. But we walked around quite a bit because we needed to find that belt for Adam.
Yeah.
So we had walked around a bit. So he put the fort into his GPS and we were going. And he's like, okay, it's this way. And we found a trail that takes us that way. And we'll tell you about the trail. But as we're walking along this trail, he's like, this is not the same way that I normally go, but that's fine. So we just keep on going and stuff. So this was kind of a by mistake route.
I think so.
Yeah. Cause I don't think this is the way that he thought it was taking him. Cause he'd never been this way before.
Well, yeah, I don't know if he'd been on that trail or not.
Right. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That was kind of the mistake.
I'm kind of surprised thinking of it that he needed a belt. As much food as I ate, I think I didn't need a belt.
Well, this is the shirt that I wore like a couple episodes before we left. And I put it on and I'm really glad that you can only see from here up because there's a lot going on down here.
We ate a lot of food. If you've watched our vlogs, you know that because the first 3 vlogs were just like, oh, look, they're eating here. Oh, look, they're eating there. Oh, look, they're eating here. I ate like a cruise rookie, like a cruise virgin. I was like, oh, anyway, sorry. I didn't mean to sidetrack us like that. But so yeah, anyway, we had watched D&J's video of San Juan, and I saw this area which was like heaven for cats. not. Let me rephrase that because that sounds.
Yeah, that was a little bad.
That sounds dark. What I mean is
how about a cat haven?
A cat haven. Yes. So
use that word instead.
Yes. So they have this area where they take stray cats and they neuter them or spay them. They clip the ear and they give them food and everything. So it's kind of like this little like sanctuary for cats. And there were cats everywhere. Like I thought that was cool because I'm a fan of the feline. And it turns out that the trail that we went on was part of this El Gato area. Gato is cat in Spanish, and it's
save a gato.
Yeah, save a gato. It's got the little clip ear in the logo. It's very adorable. I want a shirt. Anyway,
can you get a shirt?
I don't know. Don't look that up now. We're
podcasting.
A podcast.
Got
really? Anyway, so we get to this trail, and it's basically it's a nice paved trail. It's a little curvy, but it's pretty flat, and it runs right along the water. So on your left is the beautiful water, and on your right, as soon as you get into it, is like the city wall, which is this really tall wall that goes all the way around most of Old San Juan, but then really leads you right to the fort. So it's super scenic right away, even at the bottom. Like it's just gorgeous, beautiful area that you can see, but it just keeps getting better, right? So this is one of those times that I'm trying to not talk so you can talk.
Oh, I thought you were going to bring up a picture.
I don't have a picture that's relevant
right
now. I was just getting them ready.
Okay. So, so we're walking and we see some cats, and Matt took his fancy camera because he wanted to take fancy pictures, and I didn't take my fancy camera because I didn't want to carry it.
So if you want to see some of those fancy pictures, they are on the Fintastic Cruising community. Also, they are some of them are at the end of the video we put out today.
Are all of those pictures that you put at the end of the video yours, or were any of those off of my phone? Like there's one that I'm just curious.
There might have been some from your phone because the camera that I took is more of a telephoto kind of a thing. So if there's a big scenery area, and I think there's like, that might have been from your phone.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
That was just for my own knowledge.
Yeah. I didn't credit them though, or anything like that. So there's no like credit to the photographer.
I need my money back then.
Okay. I'll give you 100% back.
Okay. Anyways. So yeah, cats, and we're walking along and Matt's like doing his vlogging. He saw some spiders and stuff or whatever. And those are in the video, but they're not, I didn't bring any with me because I didn't want to get in trouble. Why would you have brought them with you? Because they're beautiful. They're like brought them home with you? Not the spiders, the pictures for this on the podcast. I thought you meant you were bringing. I don't think they would have let me through customs with a spider. Well, it's like, if you're gonna bring something home, bring one of the cats. Why would you grab a spider? They're called silver argiopes. If you want to know what they look like, or just watch the video. They're really, if you're not like Kimbra with spiders, they're really beautiful orb weaver spiders. Big and beautiful. Terrifying. They're beautiful. Everywhere. They're harmless. They are harmless. Anyways, so yeah, we're looking at cats. He's looking at spiders. We're checking out the scenery. What are you laughing at? You. Me. Okay. And I think you were taking some pictures of some cats or something, and I saw an iguana. Mm-hmm. And that's when the real excitement kicked in. Yeah, because we had seen some pigeons. That was okay. We saw an anole, which was, small lizard. We see them all the time here. The cats were really cool, but then you saw that iguana, which I think is invasive to Puerto Rico, but there were a lot of them, which probably means they're definitely invasive to Puerto Rico, but we still like them. And it was a big old iguana with the weirdest eyes. If you saw, I did a drawing, I did one digital painting on the ship, and it was inspired by this iguana. Was that the first one we saw? It was the first one we saw. It had the most human looking. Well, it was
kind of human looking eyes, almost like doll eyes though. Like you could see the white of the eye and the thing was like looking back at us. It's freaky. Okay.
It's funny. It's like, why are you looking at me?
It looks like somebody painted it for a children's book and they were just getting it a little too human. But it wasn't. It was an actual.
You know what's funny is there was another iguana that you took a picture of that was doing the same eye thing.
Yeah, I know.
So,
wasn't quite as creepy and cute as the first one, but
there was a second one doing it.
But none of the other ones were like that. Right? So
maybe they were related.
Maybe.
They had an eye thing.
They're the freaky eye iguana family. I mean, they're probably all genetically close because they're invasive on the island. But
right.
So then we're taking pictures of iguanas and stuff, and that's exciting. And then we see another lizard, and it is one that I've never seen before. I don't know if I've ever seen the species at all. I guessed what it was, generally speaking, which is an amoeba, and I was right. So my herpetology street cred is intact, but it's a native lizard to San Juan and a really cool lizard. And it is also our cruise creature. Let's just go
we're going to jump in?
Yeah,
we're so early for
boom,
this.
Cruise creature already, like 20 minutes in or 27 minutes in. So if you are watching, obviously you can see it, but if you're not, we put one up here. A photograph of it. This is it's sometimes called the San Juan ground lizard. It's also called the San Juan Amoeba. Its scientific name is, the genus is Amoeba. You don't care about that, but anyway, they
Can I tell my favorite fact about it?
Yes.
It's a Teide.
You gonna explain that?
Yeah. So that's my favorite thing because our lizard Luna is also a Teide,
which is a family. So Iguanidae, Geckoidae, Teiidae, Varanidae, which are monitors. So these are the tegus, the whiptails, and the amoebas, and it's in that group. And this lizard really looks like a little stretched out tegu.
Go back to where you could see its tail.
That's a tegu tail. And the
tail.
spots on the hind legs, like it's like a little mini Luna. And really these guys can get, I guess, up to 33 inches, but that's mostly tail because
we saw a few of these and they were all about this size.
Yeah,
and
I think the largest ones, which the males get bigger than the females, have a snout to vent length, which is a common way of measuring reptiles, which is, their tip of their snout to their privates. And it's like, I think 9 inches was like the max. So that 33 inches and 9 of that is just body. So that's a lot of tail.
I mean, that's kind of how Luna is.
She is.
She's got a lot of tail.
She does have a lot of tail, but and really weird pupils on these lizards too. They're kind of like shaped like a peanut or something like that.
I did not think you were going to say that.
Wow. And suddenly the ratings changed on the podcast. But I don't know what the adaptive advantage of that is. I haven't had a chance to find that data yet.
I feel like I've
seen.
Does an octopus have eyes like that?
Yeah, but octopus cephalopod eyes are totally different. Like human eyes and really chordate eyes, which are mammals and reptiles and birds. Our eyes are like, they don't make a lot of sense. Like they just went through a lot of changes that would not have been the best easy way. If you were just making an eye, this is not how you would make an eye. Okay, it's backwards and twisted and stuff. But the cephalopod eye is like how you make an eye. It's like done properly. But anyway, so these guys are foragers. They've got the little forked tongue like our tegu, and they will eat not just insects. A lot of lizards are, especially in this size category, are insectivores almost exclusively, but these guys are not. So they will eat insects, they'll eat other small animals, but they'll also eat some plant material as well. And they are adorable. Look at those little feet, little claws. And they're very skittish for sure. But I mean, tegus are skittish in the wild too. I don't know. I've never heard of these. I've heard of there are amoebas in the pet trade, but I don't think that they're known for being super like chill or anything. Not that I know of, at least. I could be wrong, but
they ran away from us. It was hard to get
Mhm.
good shots of them.
I mean, but they have the fact that this lizard at this size was living in an area with so many cats is pretty much impressive. Like that is like saying something about the survival adaptivity of this lizard to be able to survive. And it had its full tail, I think.
Yeah. But
or most
the
of it,
areas that we saw those, there were not as many cats.
That is true. That is true. In fact, so
there were more cats at the beginning of the trail.
Yeah, we did see that there was that one Anoi, and that Anoi had like a rough.
It had a weird looking tail,
which probably because it got beat up by cats all the time. So would be my guess. But yeah, they're really cool lizards, and I always love to see native species. I mean, I know it's not good for the environment to have invasive species in areas, but I mean, I enjoy seeing these green iguanas and stuff, but I'm always really excited and happy to see native species, especially if it's something that I haven't seen. Like one of the reasons I want to go to the ABC Islands is to see these. They're in the same Teiidae family, but they're bigger and they're black with blue spots. They're sometimes called blue spotted lizards or whiptail lizards.
They're cool looking.
Anyhow, so that's our cruise creature right there.
Yeah.
Boom, done. That was an easy one. If you guys have questions in the chat, though, let me know. If you have any questions, I'll try and answer them about the lizard, but they're super cool. So we saw those, and then we kind of continued our journey, and we got to the end of this trail, and the scenery just kept getting better. We don't have any pictures of that scenery, but watch the vlog because really to see it in all of its glory. I feel like a photograph can do it justice, but a video really captures it better on the whole. But we did get some good pictures.
Or just go there and see it in person.
Well, that's obviously nothing's better than that. But we had to walk a lot uphill. We had to go.
Not really.
A lot of stairs.
Once we got to, at the end, of course, was the fort, and that's when you had to go uphill.
Yes.
The trail itself
took a fortnight.
Was not uphill.
No, the trail is very flat until you get to the fort, and then it's like almost a 90-degree. Like you're going to be out of breath when you get up there. Is all I'm saying. Like, but it's not like I'm sure there's worse stairwells that you would have to climb, but it is an effort. So if you are somebody that struggles with your stairs normally,
then go the other way to get to the fort.
Right. So you can go the other way through the city, which may even be the smarter way to go. And then you go down those stairs and then you walk back on the trail.
I would do the trail both ways. I
would. Yeah. But then there's reasons you want to go into.
I know.
So yeah. Otherwise I would too. I would have been happy just to stay on the trail.
I know.
Because there were so many things there and it was just so beautiful. But
some of my favorite things were actually at the fort.
Like, for example?
Like as we were going into the fort. So the fort was $10 per person to go in. They were not accepting cash. So you had to pay with like Apple Pay or credit card or something. But as you were going into the fort, the fort walls, there we go, has like little holes in it and stuff. And the iguanas were like stacked on top of each other.
That's cool.
Poking out of those holes.
That was very cool. And we have some of those pictures on the Facebook group and also at the end of the vlog.
Yeah.
You can see that because it is. I'm gonna draw or paint that at some point. It's really cool.
Like I want to know what kind of process they have, if they've got it organized so that the top one leaves first, because if the bottom one leaves, they're all going down.
I guarantee you that they don't. Iguanas are not the smartest lizards, and it's just going to be luck of the draw if they go the right way. Otherwise, they're all coming out. But you saw them scale the wall, like they're scaling a 90-degree, fairly smooth but rock wall.
There's
like a gecko up the wall.
Yeah, one of the pictures that we have has like 4 of the iguanas sticking his head out, and then like another 8 that are just kind of like hanging out on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
We have a question. Where's the cat area? So the cat area that Matt was initially talking about that Para DJ went to, we never found it, so I don't know.
I think it's in the vicinity of where we were.
Probably. But do you have the name of that trail that we walked?
It's Passe. The name of the fort is it Demola?
Moro.
Demoro. Passe de Moro, I think. It's basically, I think it's the Mora Pass. Mora being is part of the fort name. But basically what you want to do is when you get off of the ship, you want to kind of go to the left. And I would look this up like on Google Map or something first, but you're going to kind of follow the coastline over to the fort. Like literally you can see the ship most of the way looking back. And then when the ship sails out, or sails in, if it's daylight, you can see the fort. You go right by the fort. So it's not that hard to find once you figure out where it's at. Because if you go too far to the left, you'll be in the water. So that kind of straightens you up a little bit. If you go too far to the right, I don't know what happens. So that's why I say look it up first. But once you get to that spot, it just guides you right through there. And then coming back, I mean, I probably could have navigated it and found my way back to the ship, but it was very beneficial to have a map to get back to the ship.
We found our way back. We didn't use
the map at all? I thought Adam was looking at the GPS.
No, because we found a street that had a name that was familiar. Then I looked down a street and I said, that's where Umbrella Street is. And we headed towards that.
And you're looking towards a cruise ship. I mean, there's people there. People there are very, very nice, very kind. And so if you're like, hey, I'm trying to get back to the cruise port, they're going to point you in the right direction. So
yeah.
Pardon me. Sorry about that.
All right. So the fort.
Is it worth $10?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say definitely.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, we went up to the top of the fort.
Yep.
And
let me just say too, like if you're hemming and hawing about $10, keep in mind that when you pay $10 to something like that, it is a my thing just went away. It is a national park, and it's United States National Park. Your money is going to help support that park. So not only is $10 worth it, in our opinion, but it's also going to a good cause. It's kind of like I feel that way if I go to a really reputable zoo or something like that. I'm probably going to pop in there for a second. And I'm like, I don't mind spending this extra money at the gift shop or the concession stand because I know that it's going to help support this organization. So that I'd say definitely worth $10. But like Kimbra said, right now with COVID, they are not accepting cash. So just be prepared for that.
But that $10 they said does get you into both forts. We only did the one. I don't know where the other one is because we didn't go there.
Yeah, we didn't get
I'm
that
sure
far.
Somebody knows where it is.
You'd have to do cabs and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
To do that.
Also, Adam says on the way back, we didn't use a map. Kimbra got us back.
There you go. So all you need is a Kimbra. You don't need a map. You don't need GPS. You just
and
need
I know a Kimbra who would love to go to San Juan with you.
Yes, but if you take her, you have to take me too, because we're a package deal. So.
Dan said, "Can we afford it?"
Very nice. Well played, sir. Well played. So you go into the fort. There's some inside areas with signs and information. This fort was basically built, I want to say it was like early 16th century, like 1500s, but definitely by the 1600s.
I feel like 1690 is when it was completed. I don't know why that number is stuck in my head.
Yeah, and it remained, I tried to do a little bit of research on it today, and it remained a fort that was somewhat used until I think 1960, but it was the last time it actually withstood several attacks. Some of them from the United States during the Spanish-American War around the turn of the last century. And that was actually the last time I think it was attacked. It was like 1880 something, whenever the Spanish-American War was. But so really cool. Like if we would have more time and it was really hot, I would have liked to have explored the historical aspect of it a little bit more, but we knew we had a lot to cover, a lot to do. So we kind of brushed past that part a little bit, got to see it some. But then you go up on the top of the fort. Anywhere you look out the windows, it's just beautiful. You go on the top of the fort and you get quite the view. So I'm going to put on the YouTube here.
The YouTube? Oh, this is on YouTube.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yes.
That's what this is called.
I'm going to put our view. Well, it's not really our view so much. It's just you hanging out with this friend that you made, because the iguanas are up there too. And the ones on the top were like bright green.
Yeah.
like bright green. And so, but yeah, you'll see a better view. I thought I did one with the view, but I don't really have one with a great view, but it's just gorgeous. One part of it looks over San Juan. There's just a lot of beautiful painted buildings, and there's an old cemetery, which is really beautiful. And the other side looks over the water, and there's a little bit of island structure and stuff. And then of course you've got these iguanas that are just hanging out. Look at that. I mean, it's like they color coordinated. They're green with that sort of orangey brick color.
This iguana was like awesome. He was just sitting there and let me just sit right next to him.
As you can see.
Yeah.
What was he telling you there? It looks like he's telling you something. I'm not sure what he was
He told me that it was not going to get any cooler and I still had to walk back.
and so we did. So we still had what I wanted to do, which was go to Barachina's. And of course, like she said, when we got there, it was 7:30 in the morning. So everything was closed, not because of COVID, but because it was 7:30 in the morning. And so we were kind of like, is this port open or not open? There's definitely some stuff that's closed, but I think this port is in better shape than a lot of other ports from what I've seen and heard about as far as what is and is not open. Because I think they have more tourism and just a little bit different economy and stuff there. But it was too early to get pina coladas. So, but by the time we had hiked this whole way, spent all this time looking at cats and lizards and beautiful scenery, and then walked back and found our way to Barachina's, I think it was around lunchtime, maybe.
It was 11 because that's what time Barachina's opened.
So, and it had just opened.
Yeah.
And there was a long line. There was like a line to get in to eat, and there was a line to just go get a drink. But of course, because of COVID, you couldn't just walk in. You had to wait for your spot to order your drinks and stuff. It wasn't that bad. It looked like it was going to be a nightmare when we got there. Like it was like the line was coming out the building. And we were like, oh no. But it wasn't, it went fine. It was fine. But Kimbra does not like coconut because she's broken that way. So I'm like talking about these pina coladas, and I'm like, this is not like, you get your pina colada with the mix, and it's good, but it's definitely a sugary mix. It's not the same. The pina coladas at Barachina's are like this magical fresh coconut pineapple concoction with rum, which is, I don't remember the name of the rum. It's got a Q on it. It's a local rum, and they make it with that. And it's just different. It's just, it tastes like a freshly made drink, even though they have it in these like mixer things made up, but it's not like a pre-mix that you just get at most places.
You filmed him making it. You said he poured the rum in and then he poured in the stuff, right?
Yes. The rum is added separately, but I mean, even the stuff, it's got a different texture, a different consistency. Yeah. It doesn't taste like cheap pre-mix stuff, like it's not what this is. I'm sure they mix it there and just put it in these so it's frozen and ready to go.
Right.
And
what I was saying was the rum wasn't mixed in with it in the machine. They poured the rum in.
Yeah, they made it like the slush was just another ingredient in the drink.
Right.
They made a bunch of them at the same time.
Yes.
And you get the little umbrella and the cherries and a pineapple. And so I knew I liked it because I'd had it before. And I didn't remember exactly if it was that good or I just had a good experience, but it was that good. It was really good. If you like pina coladas, even a little bit, get a pina colada at Barachina's. But
if you don't like pina coladas, get a pina colada at Barachina's because it is delicious. And it's not like coconutty.
It's not super coconutty.
The pineapple overpowered the coconut for me, but it wasn't too pineapple-y either. It was like just the perfect amount of everything it needed to be.
Yeah. So it's really good. It's really good. And so we did that. We had that drink. And of course, also being like blazing hot, that was just a very refreshing drink to have. And after that, we
walked around
a few shops.
Yep. We got some friends.
Yep, I think we showed these
We
last
did,
week, but we can show
but-
them again. We got of course, the Coqui, which was that was our cruise creature last week.
It
right?
was. I just think he's really cute.
And then
with
that is a
his
frog. If
messed up
you're
eye.
behind with that, you know what's messed up is I looked at the Coqui and then I looked at the chat, and the last thing that Adam said is they were yummy, not the Coquis, but that's what went into my brain. He's talking about the pina coladas, but yeah. So you know, there's a lot of stores in San Juan, and they range from your standard Caribbean port gift shop, generic gift shop, to very unique and San Juan specific type of stores. What we did not experience on this trip, because we just simply didn't have the time or the endurance for it, was the food. But I can tell you that the food in San Juan is amazing, and there's a lot of it to experience. So that next time we go, I will insist that we get some food there, like
Okay.
some mofongo, or like when we went there last time I was there. I've been there twice. The other time I did the El Yunque, but we didn't do the fort, but we went to a little restaurant, and my mom got like a steak, and I got the mofongo because I had heard all about mofongo, and the mofongo was good, but the steak my mom got is like a real skinny steak is like kind of salty but it was so good. Like, everybody tried it, and everybody had different like Puerto Rican dishes, and everybody was happy with their food, but everybody wished they had ordered the steak because it was so good. It was really good. So that was, yeah.
Cool. Is that all we did?
Well, we went and took some pictures. There's a really nice sign that says I Heart PR.
Yes.
And we got some good
We got some good pictures of the front of the ship.
Mm-hmm. Adam says it's called a flank steak. That sounds right. Yeah, so it's a good place to get photographs or video of whatever ship you're on. And there's a Walgreens and
A CVS.
a CVS, like right when you get off the ship. So if you needed anything that you would get at one of those places, you can get it there. Adam says he got a cigar.
Right.
I know we were going to go into one cigar shop, and the lady there was kind of like, no drinks in here. And we were like, okay, and we'll find cigars somewhere else for Adam. So, but we did. So he got that, which he enjoyed later on the ship. And we got our postcards, which if you are a patron, you'll be getting one of those postcards from Puerto Rico probably this month, as well as the painting I did of the iguana.
Yes.
So there's that.
I think we need to get those ready this weekend and send them, right?
Yes, we're at the end of the month.
Yes.
We're so good about sending these out at the end of the month.
What's funny is we almost always have them like ready to go, like beginning to mid-month. And then like it's like the 30th or 31st, and we're like, we gotta get them out.
We did get out Klaykowski's bourbon though.
Yes.
I shipped that to him today. Finally, I couldn't find a box, but I finally found a box, got that packed up. So I'm hoping.
Hopefully it arrives not broken.
Yes, I'm hoping that first of all, but I'm hoping we can share a virtual dram of that when he gets it. You say dram for bourbon or just other whiskey? I think you say dram for any whiskey. So anyway, yeah, and then that was Puerto Rico though. It was a really good experience. It was a great day. We had so much fun. They do say you have to wear a mask. They do also say that they will fine you $100 if you don't wear a mask. I don't know that they would do that unless you were just being a real jerk about it. When you go into stores, some of the stores had the hand sanitizer.
I think every store had the hand sanitizer.
They were a little bit more specific about wearing the masks in the stores, and maybe you might encounter and say Florida. But and then as far as like if you're outside away from people, I mean, we walked by a lot of police officers and we didn't have our masks on all the time. They didn't say anything. We saw people there without masks. As long as you have it with you, so that if you are in a situation where you can't socially distance, you can just throw your mask on. I think you're good. Obviously, you're out in the heat, walking and stuff. They're not like just looking to give people a hard time. They're just trying to be safe. So that aspect of it was pretty good. And yeah, but overall, just a beautiful area and a great experience.
Yes. I liked it a lot.
And I don't know, we talked a little bit about what we did on the ship last week, but that day is when we got on the ship and I think we went to Big Chicken.
Yeah,
again.
we did Big Chicken.
Oh, Big Chicken.
Oh, so good.
Oh, Big Chicken. How I wish you were on all the Carnival ships.
We need to just sail Mardi Gras like every other month so we can eat Big Chicken.
Like, honestly, I loved Mardi Gras. Like we said last week, it's my favorite ship. It's your favorite ship. And I would definitely like to sail it again. But I don't need to sail Mardi Gras. Like, I'm happy to go on any ship. But the one thing that makes me want to go on Mardi Gras more than anything else
is Big Chicken.
Look at that Big Chicken rush. Isn't that horrible? Oh, man, why is food such a...
It's funny because we had Chick-fil-A last night 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
For dinner. And we both had our chicken sandwiches and we took a bite and we were like, this is nothing compared to Big Chicken.
And apparently PDQ is only in Florida and like, I think it's in like New Jersey, New York. There's like a South Carolina, North Carolina. So we mentioned PDQ in the vlog and then we got comments were like, what's a PDQ? So if you're in Florida, you see a PDQ, it's a decent chicken place. You can get the chicken sandwich with the breading on it. Their grilled chicken's not very good. But
I usually get the chicken tenders.
Or the tenders.
Their buffalo blue sauce is really good.
Very good. So yeah, and then we rode Bolt, which I don't know how much we talked about that last week. I think we talked about it a little bit. It was, it was a pretty painless process to get on there and everything.
You reserve it through the app.
Mm-hmm.
They make you pay when you reserve it. So you literally just walk up, scan your card and get on.
Yeah, you're not supposed to have things in your pockets. They have lockers up there. It was fun. It was quick. It was expensive, but do it if you're on the Mardi Gras. Do it once and then decide if you want to do it again. The Down Under Cruisers, if you are watching this right now live, they're going live in 8 minutes, so they're checking out. We'll probably go and say hi to them for a few minutes after this. But yeah, anything else? We went to the barbecue place that night. So watch the vlog. We got another vlog coming out, hopefully in the next couple of days, that will cover Barrachinas, because our current vlog is just the fort experience, and it'll cover our second Big Chicken experience, and it'll cover our barbecue experience and a little bit Bolt. Well, a little bit of Bolt. We didn't get a lot of footage of Bolt, but we'll talk about it. And then it'll cover our watching the Flying Scotsman.
Yes, that was a good
show. So that's coming out. That'll probably be one episode. And then, like I said, we've got Dominican Republic and several more episodes coming up. So yeah. Anything else we need to touch upon? I know one thing.
Oh, you got something?
Yeah, we forgot to show this last week. We did a video on it, but this is the inaugural book that I guess, I don't know how long they're giving this out. Dave and Brandy will have to let us know if you get one of these. I hope you do, because it's pretty cool. We did kind of a flip through video of it. Yeah, it was free, or we stole it. I think it was free. I think it's meant to be complimentary.
He gave it to me.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he put it in my hand and said, here's your book.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think he said, here's your book, but.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a hardbound, book with nice pages. It smells wonderful.
It smells like a new book.
Yeah. Reminds me, remember these things? Books? Remember when we used to use books?
Hey, speaking of books, I finished the first Harry Potter book today and started the second one. I know none of you care, but I'm telling you anyways.
All right. Well,
but I said that because I read the actual book.
Oh, gotcha.
I also read some on Kindle.
I mean, that did come up a little bit in the common room talk.
Yeah.
With Tony Dials.
Right.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and end this podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys watching live. Reno apparently is ready for it to end because he just barked.
All right. Well, on that note, it's time to head for the horizon.
Almost.
22 days. And until next time, seize the day.
Have a fantastic week, everybody. we're back. See, you should have saved that Harry Potter thing for now after the credits.
Oh, shoot.
Oh,
You want me to do it again?
No, I don't want you to do it again.
Well, what you got?
I got the bottom of my glass.
Yeah, I finished mine up too.
I do like Buffalo Trace.
Is that what you had?
Yeah.
Would you buy it again?
Mm,
Do you like that
absolutely.
or Bullet?
I like them both.
You can't like them both. You have to make a decision.
I mean, it's like Coke and Dr. Pepper.
Coke and Dr. Pepper. Those are two different things.
I know. So are those two different bourbons.
Okay.
They're both similar but different. The dog is broken.
I don't understand.
Let's see if we got any questions here in the chat, because I see one from Dan. It says, we're not really steak people. Doesn't interest us. Are there Italian places? So, Dan, listen. Depending on which ship you're on, there are Italian places. And there is one called Cucina del Capitano, which is, well, if you're on Carnival, that's the one you're going to find. And it's not on every ship, but it's on a lot of the ships. I am not a fan of pasta. I don't like pasta, with very few exceptions. So usually I'm like Italian, but there's usually stuff at Italian restaurants I like. Cucina del Capitano is very good. And Kimbra, you had the pasta there?
I had chicken parmesan,
So she can attest for that.
which
it
is
good?
not pasta.
Oh, that's right. It's chicken,
chicken.
with marinara and stuff. I've heard the pasta's good. Just we can't tell you that it is. But I had the what is it? The pork belly,
No, it was
spare ribs.
Spare ribs.
And that was very good. The everything there was really good. And I've eaten there twice, and both times were delightfully pleasant. You can go there for lunch and it's included, and you can get just pasta and you can kind of add your stuff.
Maybe we need to do that on the horizon.
You could do that, and I could just get guys or something and go with you guys.
Yeah, because I'm not. Yeah. Let's do that.
That works, because you just go up and sit down. Like I've actually done that before. Like just brought my own food with me, because there's nothing for me at lunch. But you could do that, and and I've heard that that's really good. My mom, I don't know if she's still in here. She's had it. Maybe somebody else in the chat has had the pasta there. But it's supposed to be really good. But I can tell you all the other food is really good. Normally it's an upcharge of, I want to say, $15 per person, but you get a lot of food for $15. And then you will find Italian food here and there at like the buffet and stuff included. But if you want good Italian food, that's how you get it. Also in the main dining room, I'm sure there are occasionally Italian
There's some pasta dishes once
stuff.
in a while.
Yeah, there's different things on there like that. And if you go to I know you're not a steak person per se, but there are other things at the steakhouse besides steak, which I'm sure are amazing. I know there's lamb, but there's probably other things that are not as like big slab of meat kind of things. I just haven't looked at those. Hi, Reno. He's like, we take him out to go to the bathroom. We give him food. We try and meet all of his needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is all the way up at the top for this dog before we start the podcast. But yet he always has to start disrupting it at some point. It was dog day yesterday. You don't get the same. Do you smell bourbon? He's a bourbon dog. He's a whiskey dog.
He does. He always sniffs your glass when you have that.
Look at him. He's like, give me some of that bourbon. You want to sniff my glass? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You can't drink it. You can just smell it. All you can do is smell it. You can only smell it. See the world with Chris. Hello. Says, FYI, the Wagyu on Carnival is a flank steak cut of meat. Oh, that is
that's
helpful.
good to know.
So we are going to go to the steakhouse on the horizon with Mama Sandy, and I think I'm going to get the Wagyu, the Australian Wagyu.
I am too, because we were kind of, but I was like, give him a drink and he'll sleep.
Oh, My mom says she had the chicken parm and it's excellent.
That's what I had.
Yeah.
It is excellent. It was huge and it was delicious. And everybody's saying hi to Reno.
And Mallory has that in common. Mallory's a whiskey dog.
No, it says it's something you and Reno have in common.
Oh, something I and Reno have in common. Yes, that is true. We have a few things in common. We both love Kimbra, and we both like whiskey.
Okay.
What else do we have in common, Reno?
You're hairy.
We're both hairy. Yes.
Beards.
Beard. Sometimes I have a beard. I don't go to a groomer. He doesn't very often though. So
He goes to a groomer
like once
every few months.
5 or 6 months. So when he grows hair like a chia, I grow hair like a chia. So it's all good.
You're basically the same.
Oh, great. That's what's funny. So I sent the bourbon to Klaykowski today, right? So I wanted to send him a little something extra. So I have this. If he watches this, he's gonna find out about it. But I sent him a little printout of a chicken I did for Inktober a few years ago. It's a zombie chicken. So I'm trying to find this image on my digital devices, right? So I search my phone. I search like my Apple images for chicken, or my Amazon, Amazon images for chicken, and no chicken showed up. There was a picture of the alchemy bar.
No, the fortune teller
Or the
bar.
fortune teller bar. I don't know why that showed up. Maybe they thought there was voodoo going on. And then there was another picture. I don't remember.
Pelican.
Of a pelican, yes, of me sitting next to a pelican. And then there's a picture of Reno licking the glass of Guinness the snake's terrarium, and Guinness is like on the other side of it looking through. So apparently Reno is a chicken, according to Amazon.
Maybe it's Guinness that was the chicken.
I mean, technically reptiles and birds are kind of the same thing to a scientist, but I think the dog looked like a chicken. He had this like tongue, hair going everywhere. Like he looked like a chicken. Let's see. Dan says I'm holding our kitty up to the screen, who is just meowing at Kimbra and pawing at Matt. What does that mean?
I mean, Reno pawed at you.
It's true. Look, I am a cat person. I mean, I'm a reptile person first, but I'm a cat person, and so I usually get along really well with the feline variety. We bond.
I'm sorry, this is a dog family.
I know, because she's allergic to cats. I mean, to be fair, cats are a lot of work. Dogs are a lot of work too.
Well, now we've got Luna.
With a cat, you don't usually take them to a sitter. You have to have somebody come over and take care of them.
So you have to make sure your house is
dog,
clean.
There's so much work. You got to drive them somewhere.
You don't have to. I mean, somebody could come over.
Okay, and stay in your house for a week. So that's not, it's a lot of work. She approves of us both.
Oh, good.
Good. Glad to hear it. JP Travel Adventures, hello. Going to PR on the next cruise in April. Well, by then, hopefully, I don't like to make predictions these days because no matter how confident I am in them, they seem to be wrong. But hopefully by then, things will be even better as far as the state of the world and stuff. But honestly, like we said this on the podcast we did on No Cruise Control yesterday, the big takeaway for us, we said this on our podcast last week, is that we really didn't feel like all the things you had to do because of COVID, they didn't really change the experience of our cruise. Like there were some minor inconveniences. There were some things that were different. There was some stress in the beginning with getting the test, but when all is said and done, it was a phenomenal cruise. I would not put it below any other cruise I've done. It felt like a cruise. It was great. There were perks for this time too. I mean, it was less people on the ship.
The muster drill.
The muster drill is amazing now. It's so easy. It's so quick. So, yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Right. Do you have anything else?
I got nothing.
Cool. I think
We're going to Repticon tomorrow.
Oh, we
We're-
should have done that for the end.
It's a reptile convention. We're not planning to go to buy any new animals. We're getting
dead
food.
ones.
Well, yeah, we're getting frozen food for Luna
And the snakes.
and the snakes. Yes, that's the plan. But we are who we are. So
We'll look around. We'll see how it goes. Last time we went, we were looking for a snake to possibly.
Mallory,
go
they
with
do.
Guinness.
There is definitely a whole hognose breeder that's going to be there. She said, "Send me a hognose." And I also saw somebody on there. Unless I dreamed this, said something about Malagasy hognose snakes. Those are really wicked cool.
Did you see any pine snakes or bull snakes?
No, because you can't really tell from the vendor list. But I feel like it's going to be a bigger vendor list because I don't think Zoom Ed has been there, and they're going to be there this time. They won't have animals, but just that makes me think that this one's going to be a little bit more.
I keep forgetting we're going
well-attended.
to that, so we have to set an alarm and make sure to wake up.
Like we don't wake up early in the morning anyway.
I know, but I always have high hopes for sleeping in on weekends, and then I always wake up
It's not gonna
before my
happen.
alarm would normally wake up during the week. And
Not
for
gonna
whatever
happen.
reason, during the week I want to keep sleeping, and on the weekend I'm wide awake, ready to go. So
Yeah,
I will set an alarm, but it
Yeah.
won't matter.
because we're going there at 9, right?
Well, it opens at 9. We'll be getting up and going there before that because we want to park close enough and get in there before it gets crowded.
Right. Cool. All right. Well, let's close it out. We'll go over, like I said, we're going to head over to Down Under Cruisers and hang out there for a few minutes at least and just say hi to everybody. So if you're familiar with them, and I messed up my hat now.
Well, it's a good thing you're
That's
about to
what
get
we're-
off the screen.
That's what we're going to do. And everybody, though, thank you again for tuning in, for watching. And we appreciate each and every one of you. And we love all the comments. Thank you for all the comments and the love that we've been getting from our vlogs. We really appreciate that. It means a lot to us. It's motivation, and we really enjoy that. So,
Yes,
yeah.
what he said.
all right, take us out, Kimbra. Not officially
To dinner?
Yeah, we already ate dinner.
Oh, second dinner? Supper?
What are you, a hobbit?
I was on the ship. I'm preparing to be a hobbit again in 22 days.
Yeah, but we got to prepare. That means we got to decrease the mass.
All right. Bye.
See you guys. Have a good night.